What is going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019. That's right, we are at the end of 2018, and we are moving in to 2019, and man, what a year 2019 looks to be right now. I mean, a lot of people are saying it could be the next 1999 or 1994 type of year for films. And based on the films that are coming out next year, I can't say I disagree with them. It looks like it's going to be a really good year for films. Like all 10 of the movies on my list looks like they could go down as like some of the most memorable movies in history. Just based on what I've seen. Like wow. It looks like it's going to be an incredible year, which is something that we desperately need because the last few years for movies, oh yeah. I'm not going to get into that too much. But anyway, let's get right into the list. But before I get into the list, I have a lot of honorable mentions, and I mean a lot. First up, we have A Dog's Way Home. Looks like A Dog's Purpose type of film, maybe. Glass. M. Night Shyamalan has me kind of skeptical, but other than that, it looks like it'll be a somewhat decent, fun superhero movie. The Lego Movie 2, the second part. I love the first Lego movie. Let's see what the sequel can bring. Chaos Walking. Don't really know too much about this movie other than the fact that it's directed by Doug Liman and it stars Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. So yeah, already that has me kind of excited. Up next, Shazam, the main DC EU movie coming out. I mean, I've been hearing Aquaman's been getting pretty good reviews, so maybe Shazam will do the same thing. I mean, I like the trailer, so let's see what it brings. Up next, Farmageddon, a Shaun the Sheep movie. I enjoyed the first Shaun the Sheep. Wasn't one of my favorites of that year, but I still liked it. And I think Aardman needs a little redemption after Early Man, because I was kind of disappointed with that movie. But yeah, I think Farmageddon will be able to do it. Up next, Hellboy. Yeah, I don't remember who's directing it, but I mean, it's basically a reboot of the other two Hellboy movies by Guillermo del Toro, so let's see what this movie can bring. Up next, Missing Link, Laika's next film. I love Coraline. I love Kubo and the Two Strings. I can't wait to see what Missing Link brings to us. Up next, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. The trailer looks promising. I love Ryan Reynolds. I think, like, the one thing that has me skeptical is why is Pikachu talking? But then I saw the trailer and it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. So, yeah, maybe we'll finally get a good video game adaptation Pokemon movie. Maybe. Up next, A Dog's Journey. Now, I think this is the sequel to A Dog's Purpose. Don't really know why they're coming out with like two of these movies next year, but I mean, I thought A Dog's Purpose was underrated, so let's see what this one can bring. Up next, Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic, I believe, and I think it's directed by the same guy who had a part in directing Bohemian Rhapsody. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, and Taron Egerton's going to be starring in that movie, so yes, I'm definitely excited. Up next, Flarsky. Now, this is the next Jonathan Levine movie, and he definitely needs some redemption after Snatched, because that movie was absolute garbage, but this looks promising. It's got Seth Rogen in it. It's a Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg produced comedy. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I think Charlize Theron's in this movie as well, if I remember right. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Hopefully Jonathan Levine can get himself back up to the top of the totem pole where he belongs. Up next, Dark Phoenix. This is the next X-Men movie. I thought Apocalypse was underrated. I love Sophie Turner in that movie. Let's see what she can bring to this one. Up next, people are going to be surprised that this movie's not on the list, but there's a very good reason it's not, and that's because the trailer didn't really impress me, and that's Toy Story 4. It's Toy Story, I know. Toy Story has yet to do anything wrong, but I mean, I just wasn't a big fan of that trailer. But again, it is Toy Story. That's why it's in my honorable mentions. Because Toy Story has done no wrong yet. Also, the movie just feels unnecessary to me. But that's just me. Up next, Hobbs and Shaw. I think David Leitch is directing this. Same guy who did Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde. But yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. It's the spin-off Fast and Furious movie with Hobbs and Shaw. Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson's characters. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be a really fun action movie. Up next, Zombieland 2. Love the first Zombieland. I believe they're bringing back the same people for the sequel. So yeah, let's see how it works. Up next, You Are My Friend. This is the Mr. Rogers movie, and it's not like Won't You Be My Neighbor. Won't You Be My Neighbor was a documentary. This is an actual film. Like this is a feature film about Mr. Rogers, I think. And I think it's about his friendship with this one other guy. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, Tom Hanks is starring as Mr. Rogers, and I think that's perfect casting. Can't wait to see this movie. Up next, Kingsman: The Great Game. Now, unlike most people, I actually thought Kingsman 2 was a very fun movie. I thought it was very underrated. So I can't wait to see the sequel. Matthew Vaughn's coming back again. Bring on Kingsman: The Great Game. Up next, this one's going to be controversial because I know it's going to be very unpopular, but I'm sorry, I love the first movie. I can't wait for this movie, Frozen 2. Yeah, I know, it was way too popular. People thought it was overrated, and people hate Let It Go for some reason, but I'm sorry, I really liked Frozen a lot. I thought it was a really good Disney animated film. So I can't wait for Frozen 2. Bring it on. Up next, Jumanji 3. Now this is the sequel to Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, which was a surprisingly fun movie. I thought it was going to be horrible, but it was actually really good. So I can't wait to see what Jumanji 3 brings to us, and I think it's going to be the same cast as before. So Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, they're all going to be back. I can't wait to see it. And then finally, Call of the Wild. Now this is a movie based on the book by, I think it was Jack London, was that his name? But yeah, I read the book. I think the book's really good, and this is supposedly going to be like a CGI live action film. It's going to be a live action adventure film. I don't remember who's producing it, but yeah, I think I remember the screenwriters and the director. I don't remember who they exactly were, but I know they had pretty good filmography. So yes, I will be looking forward to Call of the Wild. Anyway, that is it for my honorable mentions. So without further ado, let's get right into the top 10. Now, number 10, this is a movie that's coming out pretty early on in the year. It's a part of one of my favorite franchises of all time, and that is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson. It's the next MCU installment before the final Avengers movie, which, by the way, you may or may not see that movie later on my list. Just stay tuned to find out. But yes, Captain Marvel. I'm definitely looking forward to it. The next MCU film. The trailer looks really good, I think. Looks really promising. A lot of people aren't looking forward to it for some reason, but I don't really know why. MCU hasn't really done too much wrong yet, besides maybe Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2, but other than that, MCU's been awesome. Can't wait to see Captain Marvel. Up next, this choice might surprise you guys, because I don't really know too much about this movie, other than its director. But that director is Jordan Peele, who last did Get Out. I'm talking about the movie, I don't know if you can see that, Us. Yes, Us. It is Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out, and I thought Get Out was awesome. I really adored that movie. It's a really good horror film. This one's going to be sort of similar, I think. I think it's supposed to be a horror thriller. But yes, Jordan Peele has me really excited. I cannot wait to see Us and see how Jordan Peele follows up the success of Get Out. Alright, so that's number 9. Number 8. Now, this movie is coming out later on in the summer, I believe. And it's the next MCU entry on this list. That is Spider-Man Far From Home. So, Spider-Man Far From Home, it's the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a movie that I absolutely loved. I love Spider-Man Homecoming. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he is the best Spider-Man. And even though I don't really think Homecoming's the best Spider-Man movie, it was until I saw a movie that came out recently, which you might see on my top 10 best of the year list for 2018. But yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home, I can't wait to see it. Tom Holland's going to be back as Spider-Man again. And yes, I know Sony kind of spoiled part of Avengers Endgame with its trailer, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm still looking forward to the movie. It doesn't really change my stance on the movie. Spider-Man Far From Home, my number 8. Alright, number 7 now. This is a franchise that really surprised a lot of people. The first movie, a lot of people thought wasn't going to be any good. Turns out it was awesome. I thought the sequel was even better. And now we got the third movie coming out, and that is John Wick 3 Parabellum. Yes, Keanu Reeves is back once again as John Wick, and I think the directors are returning for this one as well. So it's going to be mostly the same people behind it. I thought John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2 were both awesome movies. Both of them nearly made my top 10 list of their respective years. Let's see how this one does. Bring on John Wick Chapter 3. I think it's going to be awesome. So yeah, John Wick Chapter 3, my number 7. Alright, number 6. Ooh, the trailer to this movie. Wow, it was just visually stunning. It looked amazing, like seeing like so many monsters just coming together. I think you guys know where I'm getting with this. My number 6 is Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh man, that trailer was a spectacle to behold. I just love seeing Godzilla shooting his fire straight up into the sky, or that atomic breath, whatever it is. But yeah, it's gonna bring like all the monsters back, like Ghidorah, I think. I don't remember the names of the other monsters, but yeah, it's basically the sequel to Godzilla from 2014, and it's gonna be the final one of these movies before Godzilla vs. Kong in 2020. And I really like Kong Skull Island. I really like the first Godzilla. I cannot wait to see this movie. It looks amazing based on that trailer. So yes, Godzilla King of the Monsters, my number 6. Alright, number 5. Now this is a movie that a lot of people are probably going to have up toward their number 1 spot, and I don't really blame them, because you just look at the cast of this movie, and already you're like super excited. And not to mention the director is like probably one of the best of all time. Definitely one of the most genius directors of all time. Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, the 9th film by Quentin Tarantino. And just look at that cast. I mean, you got Leo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Al Pacino's going to be in the movie, Kurt Russell, Dakota Fanning. Burt Reynolds was supposed to be in the movie, but unfortunately he passed away before they could shoot his scenes. Rest in peace, Burt Reynolds. But yeah, just look at that cast. Tim Roth is also supposed to be in the movie, and I heard at one point Tom Cruise was going to be in the movie as well, but I don't think that's happening anymore. But yeah, if you just look at that cast and look at the fact that it's Quentin freaking Tarantino, like, how could you not look forward to it? And it's coming out in the middle of the summer as well, which is interesting, because usually Quentin Tarantino movies come out toward the end of the year. But this one's coming out during the summer. I think it'll be a great addition to the summer movie season. And yeah, like, I haven't seen any trailers or any footage from it yet, but I can't wait to see some trailers for it. Right now, this cast, like, it's about as impressive as Avengers Infinity War. I'm not even kidding. Like, a lot of people are saying Avengers Infinity War has the best cast. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's like, hold my beer. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Love Quentin Tarantino. Maybe this will be the movie that finally gets him his award for Best Director. Finally. But yeah, let's see, I think he's got this film and then one more film. I think he's got like a Star Trek movie coming out, and then he retires. So yeah, this is toward the end of his career. Can't wait to see this. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my number 5. Number 4. Now, this is a movie that originally I wasn't going to put on my list until I heard who was directing and until I saw that trailer. And the trailer for this movie is one of the most beautiful trailers I've ever seen. Like, it's a short teaser, but it's absolutely stunning. And a lot of people are not looking forward to this movie because it's unnecessary. To me, that doesn't really change the fact that it looks like a beautiful movie. I'm really looking forward to it, and that is The Lion King. Yes, the live-action adaptation of The Lion King, directed by Jon Favreau, and it's got a pretty good cast, too. Like, you got Donald Glover as Simba, Beyonce as Nala, which has me a little worried, but not too worried, honestly. John Oliver is going to be Zazu, Billy Eichner is going to be Timon, Seth Rogen's going to be Pumbaa. It's got a really good cast list, and it's in really good hands, so I have high hopes for this movie. That trailer was so stunning. That CGI looks amazing, and I'm hoping this will be Disney's best live-action adaptation since The Jungle Book. It might even be better. And you guys know me with The Lion King. It's my favorite animated movie of all time, so hopefully this live action adaptation does the original movie justice. I thought Beauty and the Beast did. I thought The Jungle Book did. The Jungle Book I actually thought was even better than the original. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this movie's going to be as good as the original, but hopefully it at least does it justice. So that's why I'm looking forward to The Lion King. That's why it's my number 4. All right, number 3. Now, you guys might be surprised that this movie's not number 1 on my list. Knowing how much of a fan of this franchise I am, I mean, look, it's right here, and it's right here as well. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 9. Yes, this is the end. This is the end of the sequel trilogy to Star Wars. I love The Force Awakens, and I don't care what anybody says. I love The Last Jedi. I think it's one of the best Star Wars movies so far. And I can't wait to see Episode 9. I love J.J. Abrams. He's coming back to direct this one after directing The Force Awakens. And yeah, a lot of people, again, are not looking forward to this movie for whatever reason. I guess because either they hate The Last Jedi or they don't like the anthology movies. I really liked the anthology movies personally. I loved Rogue One. I thought Solo was underrated. But yeah, I cannot wait to see Episode 9. It's the conclusion. Like, how could you not look forward to it? But yeah, that's just me. Star Wars Episode 9 is my number 3. And again, you might be wondering why it's not number 1. Well, because there's 2 more movies that I'm looking forward to a lot more. Which, believe it or not, yeah. It takes a lot to top Star Wars on a most anticipated list for me. Well, anyway, moving on to number 2. Now, number 2 and number 1, I kind of had to flip-flop back and forth a few times. I really didn't know which one I was going to put at number 2 and which one I was going to put at number 1. But after some consideration, I've decided that my number 2 is going to be Avengers Endgame. Yes, Avengers Endgame. A lot of you probably thought that was going to be my number 1. It's my number 2. It came close to being my number 1, but it is my number 2. I mean, everything in the MCU is leading up to this. Everything. From Iron Man back in 2008 all the way up to Infinity War this year. Everything is leading up to this final movie. And supposedly it's going to be almost 3 hours long, which is like the one time I'm actually okay with a movie being that long. But yeah, like, I cannot wait to see it. The same cast is coming back once again. I think the Russo brothers are coming back to direct again. And I thought they were perfect for Infinity War and Captain America Civil War. And I just cannot wait to see this. It's the big conclusion. It's the finale. Like, again, how can you not look forward to it? It's the finale to the MCU, basically. And I find it weird that it's only the second of 3 MCU movies to come out this year, but I mean, who cares, really? It's just release dates. Like, I think Spider-Man Far From Home is supposed to take place before this movie, although I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, I cannot wait to see Avengers Endgame. Everything's leading up to it. Bring it on. And then finally, number 1. Now, this is a movie that I've been talking about for a while. It's got the most beautiful poster. I mean, when I show it to you here, like, you'll see just how beautiful it really is. It's very colorful, but the trailer for this movie looks amazing. I loved the first 2 movies, especially the second one. The second one, I think, is the best animated sequel that has ever come out, like, ever. And I thought the first one was a masterpiece too, so I cannot wait for the third one. Oh, man. And all I'm going to say, if a certain character in this movie dies, I'm going to be crying like you've never seen before. But yeah, anyway, How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World is my most anticipated movie of 2019. Oh, man. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2 in 2014. I consider that to be the best animated sequel ever made. The first How to Train Your Dragon was amazing. I think this is DreamWorks' best franchise. And I think the same people are all coming back to direct and star in and write the screenplay for this movie. But yeah, I can't wait to see Toothless's relationship with the Light Fury. And like Hiccup is coming back, all the other dragons. And oh man, like, I think this movie's gonna have a lot of people in tears based on what we've heard so far. And I cannot wait to see this movie. A lot of people are probably surprised it's higher than Endgame or even Episode 9, but I love the How to Train Your Dragon franchise that much. I really do. I cannot wait to see How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. Just give me this movie now. Like, I've been waiting for it for what? It's been 5 years now. Come on, just give it to me now. Give it to me. Come on, bring it to me right now. But yeah, that's why How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World is my most anticipated movie of 2019. That is my top 10. That is all the movies I'm looking forward to in 2019. What is your top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019? Make sure to leave it down in the comments below. And make sure to leave some honorable mentions as well. Are you looking forward to all the movies that I just named off? Are there any of them you're not looking forward to? And feel free to leave that down in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos to come in the future. And until next time, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace.